Hello everyone, and welcome to KubeCon NA 2024 at the SUSE booth. We have Mikkel from Fermyon here today, and Mikkel, how has KubeCon been for you so far? I know it's busy, I know it's hectic, but gotta hear from you. How has it been so far for you?
As always, it's been super great. It's great coming. Even though it's a new place every time, it feels like you're coming back.
Yeah.
Right? Meeting all the people you know, meeting all the people you collaborate with, getting to see a lot of people in person.
Yep.
That's super awesome. There's a lot of excitement going on, particularly around WebAssembly that we're working with.
Absolutely.
And especially this year, I would say the WasemeCon pre-days was very well visited. So a lot of people there. Great to see a lot of new people show up. So it's not just the maintainers group, but also nice to see the maintainers group. But it's really great to see how things are expanding there.
Yeah, I was at WasemeCon too, and I definitely saw some new faces that were not maintainers that we work with normally. But I'm curious, KubeCon normally means announcements. Like the week of KubeCon, the week before and the week after are always filled with major announcements.
Yes.
What are some of the new things that Fermyon's been working on? And I know what are you going to say, but I want to hear it from you.
You want me to say it?
Yes, I do.
So, together with all the great people around Spin and SpinKube projects, we released 2 versions. Well, we released a new version of each of those.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
One version. So Spin has been released in version 3.0, so new major release. And SpinKube has been released in 0.04.
And what are some of the things that you can talk to as in the form of major improvements and enhancements when it comes to both of these? Like, what are some of the new features that people can expect in these versions?
Yes. What's really nice about this is the main features that we have been releasing this time applies both across Spin and SpinKube.
Okay.
And a lot of it really, I think the core of what those enhancements are is about how the maturity of working with components in WebAssembly has gotten to a level where we now have, I would say, actually a really nice developer experience and some interesting stuff we can do about this. So this sort of hooks into at least to 2 of the major features. First one is this thing we call selective deployments. So when you build Spin applications, you can create them in sort of with multiple different WebAssembly components, right? So you imagine you have a set of WebAssembly component, each serving a route in an HTTP server. What you can do with selective deployments is once you deploy them into a Kubernetes cluster, you can break your application up.
Correct.
And have some of these components run on some nodes and other components run on other nodes.
Correct.
So you kind of get this feeling where you can have a local developer experience where everything runs locally together. But then at deployment time, you can start breaking things up. If for some reasons you want to have things running in some locations, other things running in other locations, and those type of things. And that is, I think, is super interesting. And unlocks like a nice developer experience and some flexibility, at deployment time, so you don't have to necessarily architect for things that should or shouldn't be distributed. Yeah,
and I think that's very key when it comes to, talking about how you can improve WebAssembly for the developers and the people who are actually leveraging it to enhance customer experience for the various companies. But I'm curious, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the next couple of days? Like, I know day 1's already over, so day 2 and day 3 are in the pipeline right now. So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to?
So in, I think, 2.5 hours, Joe from Microsoft, who's one of the contributors to a lot of the things happening in the WebAssembly space, is going to have a talk here about WebAssembly and containers.
Okay.
And I know some of the stuff he will be showing is actually one of the other major features we released, which is about component dependencies.
Okay.
So with WebAssembly, we have this the opportunity to take multiple WebAssembly components and compose them together to be a single runnable component. So one of the demos we've showcased is how we can implement ways to manipulate images using Rust as a programming language. So let's say we have a function to, put a grayscale filter on an image, or put a Zephyr filter on an image, or something like that, invert, flip them, whatever we want to do. Then we publish that as a WebAssembly component in OCI registry. But now we can build a TypeScript WebAssembly.
Correct.
And we can go and import the functionality from our Rust WebAssembly.
Yeah.
That's something we've been able to do for a while, but the developer experience has been greatly simplified. So it's just 2 commands you need to do with Spin. And now you have that component imported, and you can start using that Rust image library from your TypeScript code. And you can package all of that up, and you can run that into SpinKube, and all of that just works, and that's a really, really nice feature.
I remember seeing a very primitive demo of this, I think, a couple of years back. And it's wonderful to see how far we've come in terms of developer experience improvements. So I think with that, we can safely call it a wrap and let you explore the show floor and other areas that you probably might need to explore. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a wonderful rest of the KubeCon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.